Hi everybody, it's Kesh. I am back from my retreat. And actually it wasn't really a retreat. I went to Sedona again to have an energy healing from a quite amazing healer called Annie Bond. She saw the video I made in Sedona in December 2022. You may have seen that. If you didn't, I'll put a link to it down below. And she said, oh, well, I run retreats in Sedona. Maybe you'd like to come to one. It was too soon last year, but this year I said, yeah, okay, if I can have an energy healing from you. It was a paid session. It wasn't a quid pro quo. I actually paid as a client, but I managed to have an energy healing from her. We are so out of balance with our energies that we don't even realize it a lot of the time, due to environmental conditions or the toxins in our food or fears, worries, concerns about life, whatever it might be. We get very, very out of balance, and that can rebound on the rest of our lives. I wanted this energy balancing. Also because, as you know, I've said this many, many times, I don't really get along with people. I feel very frightened of people, and I don't meet them, and I hide away like a recluse in the house, and I wanted to counteract that in some way. So that's specifically what the healing was for, and I would say that it's actually worked, because I've had complaints. There have been comments like, you're talking too much and please shut up. So it's clearly worked. This woman is amazing. And I had the absolute pleasure of meeting her and her group and her other trainers and psychics and empaths and so on. It was very, very rewarding. It also taught me a lot about where I am giving my power away on a daily and weekly and monthly basis. For example, to the news cycle. I was away for a week, didn't really plug into the news. Quick glance at Twitter occasionally, but that was it. And I feel better for it. The media is there to induce us to be fearful, so we'll keep on watching. Without that, there's nothing. You just remain in your energy. You're not dissipating it on fear and anxiety and worry and so on. A good example would be the Ronna McDaniel story that came and went while I was away. Now, I'm guessing that many people got very excited about that. There was a lot of concern about it, a lot of people voicing their opinions and worrying about it. And that takes energy. That drains energy. By the time I came back, this peak of interest had gone away. No concern to me. The pictures are different in a way because they don't predict anything, so they don't get involved in the news cycle. I just see the landscape and can go, oh, okay, her pictures that I did way back showed her frisky and alive and bouncing along, and then there was a challenge, a little ramp, and then an incredibly dark, sticky, gooey cloud that she went into, and it left her on her knees. And I guess that's what this is. She's now muscling up to sue NBC for dismissing her so fast. But I missed all of that. It came and went, and I didn't waste energy on it. Equally, although I've already broken my prediction addiction, as I told you last week, I was not concerned about what was going to happen in the future. We walk through life, I think, like this, head first. We're looking ahead to August and November. What will happen? What will happen? And it takes our energy. It saps our power. We give too much power to what might happen or what will happen. And we don't live today, now. I was able to beat that while I was away. And so I don't invest. I mean, for example, God forbid, if a bomb were to go off and demolish the entire planet in a week's time, really? You're going to spend the last week of your beautiful, precious, lovely life on this planet worrying about something that might or might not happen in August or November? That's the way I looked at it. So, I was relieved of that while I was away as well. But the great thing also was, and this is the third thing I kind of learned, was that I could do people's pictures to their face. I didn't really intend to go on the retreat, but I attended part of it. And these lovely, switched on, beautiful, empathic people who were in Annie's group, because naturally she would attract that kind of person, were open, some of them, to having their pictures done. I had no idea that the pictures could impact people so strongly and have such a like a force of nature character to them that would set their lives and their concerns in perspective. I've never seen the fallout from doing that. I've never seen the consequences of people's reactions. It was amazing. And so that has opened my eyes. And I talked to them. And I engaged. And the healing worked for me. I became, for the briefest time, a different person. Somebody who was in his power, whose energy was balanced, who wasn't worried about the news and the future. I was simply giving service to people standing in front of me, connecting soul to soul. And I realized, this was one of the massive lessons I learned, that when I look at people, I am looking at their humanness, thinking, what do they think about me? How do they judge me? Whatever's going through my head, busy, busy, busy. Instead, when I met these people, I decided to look into their eyes to their soul. And when I did so, we connected at that level. And their humanness didn't matter because I was conjoined with their beingness. And in their beingness, they and I are all one. And you and I are all one. I connected with their beingness, not their humanness. Their frailties, their judgments, their fears, anxieties, and so on. It was immensely centering and powerful. And I found that by doing that, I could talk to people, I could do their pictures, I could connect to them. So that was absolutely wonderful. And then somebody said, if you have this channel of like-minded people, maybe you could project energy out that would affect America after the elections. A group energy. Well, we did that. If you remember, when Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, you remember the outrage that spread around the world, the anger. And there was a 40-mile parade of tanks and armoured vehicles that were descending on Kyiv. The plan was to take it over in about 3 days, and Ukraine would fall. And it was so outrageous that we got together at a mental level, as a spiritual level, and we put a dome over Kyiv by imagining ourselves in Kyiv and protected. Nothing could touch us because we were inside this dome of protection. And that convoy of tanks and armoured vehicles got stuck in mud, and it never advanced any further on Kyiv. Now, we don't know if we had any impact on them, but what if we did? What if our joint energy projected at Kyiv saved the city, or we were part of that? You don't know, but we did it. So my proposal, based on what this person said in Sedona, my proposal is that maybe we do the same thing for the USA in 2025, March, April. We project ourselves forward. We don't just imagine things being better, but we stand in America. You can choose your place. Choose anywhere you like within the USA after the election, after the fallout from any disputes, arguments, or whatever that go on around the election. Imagine yourself standing in America, feet on the ground, smelling the air, hearing the birds sing, seeing people smiling. Everything went perfectly for the most beneficial outcome for the USA. You're standing there in, I don't know, Washington, D.C., or California, or New York, or Chicago, or any small town in between. You're standing there, you're looking around, everything is good. The pressure's off, the worry's gone. You're centered in your power because now you don't have to worry or fear or anything else. Isn't that an interesting prospect that you could do that. We could do that as a group. That's what I am proposing. That we stop thinking, oh, what if Trump wins? Or I guess if you're a Republican, oh, what if Biden wins? It's not a party political thing, this. We stop thinking about the onslaught of fascism or how horrible everything would be if people lost their Medicare. Or we simply leave that to people who have the power to deal with it. We have no power to deal with that other than people can vote in America. But the power we do have is to stand in some place in the USA in 2025, March or April, and visualize that we have manifested an amazing peace and harmony and success. And everything is dealt with. Everything is now working. Everything is in harmony. We are at peace with the world around us. And it all worked out just fine. If we can do that in our meditations and take our headspace and fill it with good things and a sense of victory, of abundance, of peace, separate ourselves from the news, separate ourselves from concerns about the future, and imagine in our meditation a time travel thing where we are standing in April 2025 and everything is great, and we will manifest into our now the potential for that to happen. That's what my book says, the Law of Attraction book, and I think we can live that out. That's my proposal. I'll revisit it in the coming weeks to make sure we're all on the same page, but that's what I propose. And I think we have the power to do something major in 2025 for the good of the USA and the stability of the USA and the peace and prosperity of the American people. That's what I think. And that's what I came back with from the retreat. And I'm glad to be back. And I've got new ideas for the channel. I don't think I'm going to put in as much work in terms of drawing and stuff. Both channels, actually. I might do more on-the-fly videos like I did with the Eddie Van Halen pictures. If you didn't see that video, I'll put a link to it down below. It was just done on the fly and was very, very powerful. So that's what I think I'm going to do on both channels with the videos. And we'll see how that goes. All right. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.